all this.
Yeah, all this gold. Right?
I'm excited that you know what Becky with the good hair is now.
I do.
I feel like I've done like
Did
this
the
is
world a
better
service? Is that what you're
than
trying to say?
do
Because
what?
there's some. Are you trying to say you did the world a service?
I feel like I did you a service.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well, you should. I guess don't say that too soon.
Shut up.
No, I'm
But
just
no.
kidding. Honestly, really don't have that much like bad stuff. I mean, there wasn't anything like
It's
intrinsically bad about it. Just
here's the thing. I like a lot of people want to hate it because people just want to hate Beyonce because they're idiots. But like there's no reason. Like even if she's not really your type of music, you can't argue that she can't sing.
yeah, that's what that has never been the.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a lot of people's arguments. Like Beyonce can't sing. I'm like, who are you talking about? Like, you must have like Beyonce Jenkins because this.
Well, shit, like the intro songs, there's a lot of a cappella stuff of just her just being like the background vocals
She
and
can sing so well. God, I love that first song. Oh, so good.
but yeah, I didn't have a problem with it.
I'm glad. I could talk
But
about
I
Lemonade for hours, but
but I didn't anticipate myself having
like,
a huge problem with it
okay.
anyway. Just
I basically I kind of figured you'd fall somewhere in the middle of the road because I knew it wouldn't like wrench your like intestines out like it did mine.
no, I didn't. I felt myself not wanting to throw myself out a
Okay.
window.
Yeah. I wanted to like wreck my car in a ditch the first time I listened to it. Like
Oh
cause I
boy.
was like, nothing is ever gonna happen after this.
Except a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But I was just like, I can't like it's just for a full month. That was all I listened to.
Um. Okay, so yeah, is there any music news that you wanted
I don't
to?
have any music news. You said it with the Chuck Berry, and honestly, that's really all I've got.
Yeah, I figured just to throw that
We've
in case someone is living underneath a rock and doesn't know that he
I'm just, I
died.
think, having a nice little tribute to Chuck Berry. I love Chuck Berry, so
Yeah.
that's a
And
good
see,
thing.
if we had money and we're like a real podcast, and we'd have like a little snippet of like a Chuck Berry song in the
We could do
background.
it anyway and just risk it.
Yeah, yeah, because that's who I want to mess with is Chuck Berry's family.
I know, right? That's
That
like
sounds like
messing with Prince's people.
yeah, sure.
Dude, Prince has a lot of fucking money.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't have money.
And his family is trying to get every cent of it. That's why you can buy that shit or listen to that shit on Spotify now.
Well, okay. So is this just a rumor because it's Prince and he's like Bowie and he's just an alien and he just doesn't play by our rules?
Sweetest little alien.
But is it true that he had like enough for like 20 albums of material
I
or
think so.
is that
I would
real?
absolutely believe it because here's the thing Prince was just the most just so creative and was constantly working with different people and making all this different stuff and a lot of it doesn't sound the same and this that and the other and he's kind of like Beyonce in the sense that like when he decides that he wants to put an album together he's very specific about what he wants on there and
Right.
exactly what he wants it to sound like so it would not surprise me if he had like 20 albums worth of music just like lying around.
Hmm.
That would not shock me in the slightest. But
Yeah.
yeah, he does like he one of the things I loved about Prince was that he was very much in this business for the love of the business, like or just like for the love of what he does. And he was really big into working with like new artists.
Hmm.
And I think because he did that and he really kept himself like really fresh, like on what was coming out and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he I mean, I can't imagine listening having the brain that Prince had and listening to the stuff that Prince listened to and like listening to all of this new stuff coming out and not being crazy inspired and wanting to make all this other stuff. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, plus he gained that recognition of name where he could just invite anybody he wanted to
Yeah.
come and collaborate with him, and everyone would jump at the chance because it's Prince, right?
I
So
just imagine
he
that like
has
Prince when he would
influences from
text
everywhere.
exactly. I imagine that when Prince texts people or like when he would text people, he just texted them like gifts of himself
Probably.
that are like available. Like I feel like Rihanna does that too.
Yeah, but she does it in like poor taste though.
Yeah, she does. She is a shady bitch, and I love her. I love her.
Nice.
She'll put just anything she wants.
That's pretty good. Do you have an album for me to listen to?
I can't decide,
Okay. Well,
and so you may have to pick a number.
okay, I can do that.
So we can do it. Do you have one for me?
I sure do.
Okay.
I
We can do
changed.
just songs, right?
What do you mean?
Like instead of a full album, we can do just a song.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because one of them is just a song.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what were you gonna say?
I had an album that I want you to listen to,
Hmm.
and then I ended up coming across other songs. I was like, damn, I definitely she needs to listen to this instead. So I changed mine up, but it's good.
Oh,
It's a
I
really
like
good album, and
the way
it's
that you were thinking. I appreciate that.
well because I told you I knew what it was gonna be, and you're like, oh geez, you gave me your eye rolling responses.
Who, me?
Yeah, and then um, it was one thing, and it was completely not that. And then I got around to thinking about it, and there's another band that I think you should listen to before them.
Well, okay. Then I guess
And it's an international. It's foreign, so
I like foreign bands,
it's fancy.
but you know that. Actually, I say I like foreign bands. I like British bands, which I don't really feel like is all that foreign.
It's very white centric view of the
I'm an
world.
Anglophile.
Yeah, unbelievable. What would Lena Dunham say?
She could suck my dick.
Um. So yeah, I have two bands. Since you said you had two, then I picked.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you just call me being white centric something that Lena Dunham would frown on? That's something Lena Dunham does. So whatever.
I know that was the
Thank you. I figured, but don't
that was the irony.
don't start that fire in my belly because I'll go on and on about Lena Dunham and her non-intersectional feminism for a long time.
Yeah, just for all the listeners listening now to us talking to each other.
No one's listening. We don't have any viewers right now.
Exactly. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, fucking hate her. There's hate. Hate in my heart.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Molly felt that hate. She had to jump off
Oh
the
yeah,
bed.
did she?
Mm-hmm. So says, oh my goodness.
Okay, so we'll talk about limonada, which I will
Limonada.
call it.
Only if you say it with a proper accent.
If
So
you
only
tell-
if you
and if
say
you
it like on the office. Limonade.
limonade,
Limonade.
and if you refer to me, I would like you to use the formal
The formal
usted.
If the only time if you ever speak Spanish to me, you must only use the formal usted.
Usted.
Usted. And she does the lisp.
Oh, she does. Yeah,
Spain lisp. Usted.
she's there.
I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, fuck me. That's so good. I do really want to relearn Spanish this summer.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
oh boy.
I had my iPod on shuffle in my car the other day, and I have like an all Molly, are you okay?
An all Molly, are you okay?
Sorry, Molly is grumbling on the floor.
No. Well, she's a dog. That's what they
Do you
do.
hear her?
No.
She's making some really intense velociraptor sounds.
Oh man, I just got this new Blue Moon. It's a seasonal. It's their Belgian table pilsner.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty good too.
Mm,
Why?
I missed that like first peach ale. That was good.
Oh, why is peach so good in beer?
Mm. It's the same reason lemonade's so good in beer.
Limonada?
Limonade. Limonade. Mexican lemonade.
Yeah. That one get you goat.
Yeah. Does it make you feel like you're back home in Mexico? Makes me feel like I'm in the Three Amigos.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Molly, I'm not calling you when I giggle.
Okay. So give me a rundown real quick, just so we're on the same page.
Okay, so we're gonna do just like the intro to the show. Well, that's more for me. Well, yeah, intro for the show. We'll talk about what we're drinking. We'll do some music news. I'll let you talk about Chuck Berry. We'll do our main topic. So do you want to do like, I'll do one, you do one, I'll do one?
Yeah,
And you
that
do one?
just kind of seems the.
Unless you want to go
standard.
first, and then you can do one and I'll do one.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
I went first last time, I think.
Ooh, hello, little forearm muscle. What are you doing?
Ew.
Goodness. I just get turned on by myself. I might have.
Ew.
Then we'll do player skip, and then album assignment, and then outro, and then we'll do a show card.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Maddie really enjoyed our Easter egg last week, by the way.
Easter. What was the Easter egg?
Oh, you didn't listen. That's how I know you didn't listen to the show. Parker, you don't listen to it?
Which show are you talking about?
Our show.
No, why would I listen to one I'm on?
Because if you listen to it, then you can come back with notes and stuff so we can make improvements. That's why I listen to it.
Oh no. Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
God.
Okay. I'll
You're
listen.
like, you're as bad as Cyrus.
Well, if I'm on it, I know what happened on the show.
Right, and so do I. But if you listen to it, then you can give feedback and we can like make it grow.
Okay, but what Easter egg are you talking about?
At the very end, because I was telling Maddie that we were talking about him a bunch last week or the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, I want to hear it. And I was like, well, it's like actually part of like before we started, like it's before the part that I actually like put in the show. I was like, but you know what? I was like, I'll edit it. I was like, I'll put it as a little Easter egg in the end for you. And so like after the outro, like after the music plays out, I put it at the end.
Oh, you just put, okay, I got you.
Yeah. So, and then we had the Epically Geeky Network thing that Eugene made that plays at the end.
Oh, right.
But you don't know what that is either because you don't listen.
I didn't know there was a bunch of shit on that they had tagged on.
Listen to it, and then you can
listen
to it, and then you can thank me for all the work that I do when I edit it.
No, that's why I leave
Because
that
I make
shit
that
up to
shit.
you.
I make that shit sound good.
I'll have to listen to it.
I make it sound professional as fuck.
You're right.
Well, not really, but it does sound pretty good.
Hey, I believe you.
I do like real music. I'm like, yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Yeah. Is that you in your squeaky chair? Yes, it is. That just answered my question. Okay, stop. Parker. Okay.
I need to get a new chair.
You just got that chair.
And this chair sucks ass.
You were so excited for that fucking chair.
I know, and it's not
You're
it's
not
not what I wanted.
Shut the fuck up about that chair.
I need to get a new one. I was already looking up some new chairs to get.
Did you find a chair model?
Yes, I did actually.
You
Yeah, I figured
jerking
I'd
off.
get a nice big leather one. Because this one is just not what was advertised.
You're gonna get a leather office chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found someone's like really, really nice padding on it and like super comfy. Woo!
Oh.
So good.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start the show?
Sure.
What is this, episode 4?
Mm-hmm.
Holy jeez. Okay.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. How do I start this show again?
Hey, welcome everybody to the Epic Rhythm and Brews.
That's how I do it.
My name's Rachel Lee Moore.
Epic Rhythm and Brews.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
Or you
cool.
just go, hello, baby. Pull a Cyrus.
Yeah. That's how Cy does it. Which Eugene decided that he kind of hates doing the video now because now Cy like watches him wind himself up and get himself ready.
Oh, I know. I can see. I can see it.
It's pretty funny. It reminds me of whenever Eugene has a cough and Christy and I make fun of him because every time he goes to cough, he goes like he's about to die.
Nice.
We have a lot of fun. It's fun to make fun of Eugene.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome everybody to this episode of Epic Rhythm and Brews. I'm one half of your host, Miss Lainey, and here's the other half.
That's me. I'm Andrew.
Go for it. Do you want to be? We've never really discussed this. I feel like now's as good a
Oh,
time
I
as
said
any.
Andrew. I'm
You
sorry.
did.
Parker.
Yeah, that's going to be my
Whoops.
question. Do you want to be referred to as Andrew, or do you want to be
Eh,
referred to as Parker?
it doesn't matter.
Okay,
It's all the
well,
same.
I'm going to go ahead and call you Parker. That's
Okay.
what I've
Yeah,
called you for
I
the
usually
last
say that I
10 years.
tripped up.
Longer than 10 years. Whoa. Wow.
It's like forever.
That's a long time.
Hmm.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So, sorry. So, we'll go ahead and start off the show the way we always start off the show. Mr. Parker, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Blue Moon. It's their seasonal release. Their
Nerd.
Belgian table pilsner, and it is pretty good. I haven't had it before, and I was very surprised. It's
Now,
got a
no.
little orangeness to it. Nice
Mm.
light beer. Yeah, good
Would
stuff.
you say it's drinkable?
I would say this beer is very drinkable.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what more can you ask for in a beer?
Can I ask a question?
You can.
So, I know where you live. That sounded creepy, but I know the town in which you take residence.
Yes.
So in that town, how many funny looks did you get when you walked out of the grocery store in that land of Bud Light and Coors?
I
With
actually
your,
didn't because I went to a liquor store.
oh, you're a
So
smart man.
yeah,
You're a very
mostly
smart
because
man.
it's really close to my place, so I don't have to drive.
Oh, that close. Oh, that liquor store.
Yeah, the one on the corner.
Yeah,
A1 or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I got you.
Oh yeah.
I got you.
What are you drinking, Miss Laney?
I'm drinking a St. Arnold Santo, which is one of my favorite beers of all time.
You like that beer a lot. I see you drinking that
I
often.
love that beer. That is in my top 5 favorite beers ever.
Top five.
It's so good. Anytime I find it, I usually like I have to buy it. So, which is nice because it's available year round, which is pretty cool. So it's actually a Kolsch style beer, but it's like a dark Kolsch style beer.
Yes, it is.
And I'm not usually a fan of Kolsch style beers. I think I found like two that I've really, really, really liked.
Yeah, they can be hard to
Yeah.
not very drinkable sometimes, you could
No,
say.
no, very, very nice. But funnily enough, both the Kolsch style beers that I love are brewed in my hometown of Houston, Texas.
Wow, look at
Isn't that
that.
funny?
That is
Interesting.
hilarious.
Interesting. I just thought that was kind of funny. I don't know. Some people call it like a Schwartz beer, which I'm not really 100% sure what that would mean, but it's a black Kolsch is
It's
technically,
Schwartz's black
well, right,
in
whatever.
German.
German. All right, you do the Germans.
That's
But yeah,
why
it's a,
Spaceballs, Schwartz,
oh, okay.
black, Vader.
I never made
Yeah,
that connection, but thank you.
you're
But yeah,
welcome.
it's black Kolsch style beer, which isn't technically a style, but that's what they describe it as. So, but it's really, really good. I think it's kind of a light bodied beer. Everybody that I know that tries it is like, this is too dark, but that's because they're dummies.
Well,
Um,
I think they just relate the darkness to the actual like body of the beer, which can be very independent of each other.
oh, well, they're stupid. So,
Well,
but yeah, it's really good. It almost has a little bit of like a coffee like aroma essence to it. It's really good.
notes of coffee.
Like a little bit. So, but it's delicious. I love it. And I will keep it forever. So that's what I'm drinking.
Good deal.
Along with lots and lots of water.
Mm.
Yeah, I know, right? So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So, we're gonna go ahead and dive on into the news. Unfortunately, we did have I'd say a pretty big loss in the
Yeah.
music community this past week or so. So, I'm gonna let Parker kind of dive into that.
Oh well, I really don't have much to say.
I know.
But
I guess.
Chuck Berry died recently. I believe he was 90,
Yeah, the man was like real old.
which I didn't know that he was still alive. If I'm being
I didn't know
absolutely
he was still
honest,
alive either.
because I just figured everyone of that era had just passed. Because
Well, I figured
said there,
everyone good of that era had passed.
yeah, well that too. But yeah, he was born in 1926, which is
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
that's
So,
nuts.
but yeah, he passed. Super influential guy, obviously. Um, broke a lot of grounds and probably influenced more people people to play guitar and or bands than anybody else.
I don't think we would have ever had the 60s if it hadn't been for Chuck Berry.
Yeah, like he's like, I don't know. Chuck Berry's probably one of the top people to kind of get people into rock and roll. So yeah, really.
Well, it has been
uh,
said that rock and roll by any other name would just be called Chuck Berry.
Chuck
So,
Berry, yes.
but
Who said that?
it was one of the Beatles, wasn't it? Paul McCartney.
Maybe
It was one of them. It's either
that
Paul or
was a
John.
Beatle. Yes, that was.
Maybe it was George. It definitely wasn't Ringo. Nothing good ever comes out of Ringo's mouth. It was one of them.
Other than making money off of him being an ex-Beatle.
Beatle, not even the best. Not even the best drummer in that band.
No,
but
exactly right. It's one of my favorite quotes about any Beatle.
It pays, man. It just pays to surround yourself with talented people.
Right.
That's why I have the friends that I have.
Also, there's a new Mastodon album coming out.
Is there really?
Next month.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I knew you'd be really excited about it. But if anyone likes metal music, Mastodon's usually a pretty safe bet for that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
it's true fact.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I don't hate Mastodon.
No, there's nothing to hate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dummy. All right. So, all right. Well, our main topic tonight is one that I'm actually pretty stoked about. I'm pretty jazzed that we get to talk about this because we've been kind of teasing it a little bit. So, some of our listeners might remember me briefly mentioning a couple of times about how I don't really fuck with John Mayer anymore.
Right.
And one day Parker and I were having this discussion, and I got into this whole tangent about how I feel like I have gone through this long, tumultuous relationship with this musician. And I feel like he, it was really great there for a really long time. And then the spark left us, and we were just left in the rubble of our glory days and our past relationship. And then finally I had to make the decision, and I had to let it go. And I had to break up with him.
My goodness.
So it's like, he's still out there and he's still making music, and I'll listen to it every now and then, but we're not together like we were. So this kind of sparked a conversation between Parker and I, and we decided that this would probably make a pretty fun show topic. So that's our topic for tonight: bands or musicians that you have broken up with.
So, to be clear, what do you mean by break up with a band or an artist?
Like, you just don't really fuck with them anymore. You'll go back and you'll listen to their old stuff and enjoy it, but whenever you hear, it's kind of like when you hear that an ex is getting married on Facebook. You're just like, all right, cool for them, but I'm over here doing my life, and I'm just going to keep moving on. They may come out with a new release. You may even go and listen to it for a minute, but you just don't fuck with them anymore.
Okay. Sounds good.
You just can't agree with them, whether it's because of the turn that their music is taken, or, whatever it is.
I like it.
But we've each picked two.
Yes.
And
depending on time, I figure we can just, because I have a couple more kind of in the fringes that I just
wanted
to mention.
Perfect.
So yeah.
I'll be shocked if some of ours don't overlap too.
Yeah, they might.
But do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Ladies first. You go. I went first last time.
Oh, I'm a lady now. Fancy. All right. So my first is actually a band. I loved this band for a very long time, but unfortunately, especially recently, I broke up with them a while back, but recently I've really, really broken up with them. So that would be Kings of Leon.
How did I know that was going to be your first one?
If you would have been an idiot if you didn't know that. You've heard me go on the Kings of Leon rant more times than I can count.
Yes.
So I get a lot of shit for loving Kings of Leon, or previously loving. I don't know how to phrase that.
When was this happening? When people were talking?
Oh, when they got super, super popular. Some people were like, yeah, that band's really great. Da da da. A lot of people were like, really? You like Kings of Leon? And I was like, no, this is a great band. You have no idea. Da 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 da. So, but I started listening to Kings of Leon, I'd say late high school. So This was around 2007, 2008, before Sex on Fire came out. I remember that.
Right. Yeah. That was the That was the first litmus test if you were a true music
Yeah,
child.
right. Well, that's the thing. Is like
Well, I liked him
I
before Sex on Fire.
seriously though, but I have a very very weird, like, I swear it's like a sixth sense where I will fall in love with a band, and sometimes I'll even like listen to a song and be like, that would be a really good single. They should make that a single.
Hmm.
But I'll fall in love with a band, and then within a year, they're huge. And I don't know if that says something like something derogatory about my taste in music or what, but I'll fall madly in love with a band, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, fuck, like, great. Not that I don't want like all of the bands that I love to like have great success and do really well. I think that that's wonderful as long as they can do that and stay true to like what they are, or what
And,
I feel like they are, I guess.
and how many times has that happened? Would none times be a correct answer?
Band of Horses.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Very true. Yep.
Haha.
Okay.
So one time.
Not bad.
Once.
So
And
what
that is all.
what was the album that really
I
switched you off from them?
I started at Because of the Times.
Okay.
I think I heard Charmer and was like, what the fuck is this? And then had to immediately like dive into the album.
Hmm.
But I started with Because of the Times, and then I just worked my way backwards.
Yep.
And went all the way back to like their EPs and shit that they used to like release back in the UK and stuff. Back when they were touring around there. Back when all of them had like horrible shag haircuts, and they all looked like these like gangly boy versions of Joan Jett.
It's like the Beatles.
Yeah, it kind of looked like if the Beatles and the Ramones like had a love child.
Yeah.
Like they just looked ridiculous. So, but no, they were they were adorable and scrappy, and they made this really awesome music that I love because it was really dirty sounding, not dirty like dirty, but just like grungy, like not very polished, because they couldn't play their instruments.
Because they couldn't play their instruments, yes.
But and I really enjoyed Caleb Followell's vocals, and it was just I was all in. I loved it. There was some really clever songwriting going on. I genuinely was madly in love with this band and was really excited about like where they were gonna go.
And really, what behind or what's the album? I'm sorry.
Because of the Times.
Because the Times was pretty what 3 or 4 years into.
That was like I think their fourth album.
Yeah,
Like they were quite a few. They formed in 1999. Like
oh, so that took them a while to.
Yeah, they started releasing stuff in like the early 2000s.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So you really did kind of go through all of that then.
Yeah, so it's just I don't know. I remember listening to that, and then I remember when Only by the Night came out, and Only by the Night is actually a pretty good album.
That was my first introduction to like their whole
thing.
Deal. Yeah, which so, obviously Sex on Fire, obviously
Everybody knows that one,
right? But then because I heard that, I was like, oh geez, these guys they can't be good because of this song, and so I just kind of wrote them off. And then you kind of introduced me back into them, I guess, or you're like, hey, listen to Only by the Night, which I did, and I was like, oh, there's actually good songs on this album.
There's really good songs on that album. Crawl is a fantastic song.
Revelry's good.
Revelry's such a good song.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, they can actually have like good music. So then I went back and I don't like them near as much as you, obviously, but
no, that's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, that was a really good album. And I don't know why Sex on Fire was the single, because that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that was the first single, and then here's the thing. I remember when that album came out, and like Sex on Fire I felt like was still like a pretty, for that to be like the single off of that album, I felt like that was still like a pretty good representation of like what their sound was.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's the thing. My whole thought was like, these guys, I felt very, very safe in loving this band, because I was like, this sound that these guys have, nobody's ever going to be into this.
Yeah.
Like this, yeah. So here's the thing. So like I said, Sex on Fire came out, and that was a good song. That really is a good song. It's got everything you need in a hit song.
Yep.
So I remember that coming out, and that was all well and good. And then I remember all of a sudden, like, You Somebody came out as the next single.
And drove it into the
And
ground.
I just remember being like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Because I remember hearing that song on the album being like, oh, I don't like this. This is stupid. Because it sounded too like arena rock to me.
Well, this is that transition album for them.
Yep. And I
Because
didn't know that at the time because, again, I thought You Somebody was just going to be, because it's the second song on the album too. So I was like,
yeah.
Whatever. Like,
If it was a throwaway, whatever, it's one thing.
That's what I thought it was going to be, though.
But that is like,
because it doesn't sound like,
no.
It didn't
But
make
you know what
sense.
It does sound like?
What everybody else likes.
No, their next album.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like I remember You Somebody coming out and being like, oh no. And then like it was on the radio everywhere for so long. And I just knew that was going to be it. And so I kept hoping. I was like, okay, well, like there are a bunch of like that's the thing. Caleb Folwell is that, I mean, I don't know what he's like now, but like back then he was still kind of a dick. So I kind of figured, I was like, oh no. Like with Caleb like fronting the band and everything, like they won't like stick to this. Like there's no way. Cause he'll be like, oh, that's gross, I don't like it. Cause Caleb kind of fancies himself Kurt Cobain.
Does he really?
Well, at the time, kind of a little. Like not exactly, not as like
the Southern rock version.
But like he's always had kind of like a bad attitude and like, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen like the documentary with the band.
Yeah.
And like watched like him and like Nathan and like Jared and Matthew like fight with each other.
Right.
Like, but he's kind of a little bitch. So I was just like, oh no, it'll be fine. Like I'm not really worried about it. Like we'll get through this and then the next album will be fine. Well, then Come Around Sundown came out and that album fucking sucked. That was awful.
Yeah, there was a couple decent songs that I wasn't upset about, but
let's see.
The
only thing that made me think that this album would be worth anything was Pyro. I liked Pyro, but the rest of it, I just remember. Oh, and I didn't mind Mary, but the rest of it, I just like.
Yeah.
I wasn't into it. It was just, I don't know. I was just bored. Like it just kind of sucked. And so that came out and I was like, okay, well, it's always like really hard to follow up like your big album, you know? I always I like to give an artist a break. Like I understand. I can't imagine what that kind of
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Especially when you spent, 5 years grubbing it, as a nobody.
Yeah, like literally like playing like dingy clubs like in like Ireland and stuff, like trying to make it big, traveling around the South and like trying to get people to listen to you. And then I was really, really excited and I was hoping Mechanical Bull came out. And I remember before I actually purchased Mechanical Bull, I saw some girl on Twitter or something say something like, I really, really loved Just Around Sundown or Come Around Sundown. And I felt like this was just like the perfect follow-up. And I was like, I don't trust your opinion at all. And
you should have.
And that's exactly what it was.
Because that's exactly what it was.
Oh, it was so bad. They had that one singles like Super Soaker that like nobody bought, and that was really, really bad. I don't think they really had anything come off of this album that was like really big. I remember liking Don't Matter a little bit because it reminded me a little bit of like some of the stuff they had off of like Aha Shake Heartbreak. But like
trying to come back to it.
Yeah, a little. And then that was okay. Wait for Me was okay. And just, fuck, it was just bad. Like, It's just a bad album. And then, and at that point, when Mechanical Bull came out, like at that point, I had just kind of like written them off. Like I was just kind of done.
But then you saw a glimmer of hope in the distance.
I did, but I really didn't. Because here's the thing. At that point, after Mechanical Bull, it was kind of like I had gotten to the point where I was like, okay, like, you're taking all my money. You're sitting around the house all day, like smoking weed and drinking and not doing anything. And like, You text another girls. So I'm out. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. So it was like at that point I had like moved out of our apartment.
And then when Walls came out,
Yeah, but like I would still like feel the text message and stuff. Like we were trying to work through things.
but
And
then
then
you saw
Walls
him
came
out
out.
at the
Ooh.
mall with
Then
another
I
girl.
saw them in that pink club bathroom looking picture,
Yeah,
looking styled to within an inch of their lives.
looking good. Looking
And
real good.
I was done. That album is absolute garbage. I'm over it. Like they have completely crossed over into this like arena rock, like wannabe alternative band that they're not. Like, congratulations, guys. You're really radio friendly now.
Hmm.
And I swear to God, I am insisting that the fact that Walls sucks so hard has something to do with the fact that Caleb is married to Lily Aldridge and she is best friends with Taylor Swift.
Can I give my my opinion on them,
Go for it.
or just a good way to say it? They are the Stone Temple Pilots. What they did to grunge rock, um, Kings of Leon did to uh, what we call alternative rock now, indie rock, I guess.
Mhm.
They took that dirty style rock and turned that into arena rock, the same
They
way
made
with
it
Stone Temple
palatable.
Pilots.
They made it palatable, and that's the
Yeah,
whole point. Is like it's not supposed to be palatable. That is
yeah.
literally the point of that kind of music.
Hmm.
It's not supposed to. It's not for the masses
Yes.
because it's not produced that way. It's not the reason that it's created.
Hmm.
It just makes me really pissed off that a band that was like, yeah, we were really, really influenced by like Johnny Cash and the Pixies and da 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 da, or Pixies, and like, this, that, and the other, like Smashing Pumpkins and this, that, whatever, then suddenly was like, oh, no, we're going to make music like,
Yeah, and then you
even
just
think of a band right now. Like,
yeah, then you take
oh,
like southern garage rock and turn it into stadium rock, which is hard to do, but they did it. By God, they did it.
I hate them. How could they do this to me? I was so loyal. That's like in, what is it, Wolf of Wall Street? When he like leaves his like sensible Jersey wife
Oh yeah.
who was like there with them like from the beginning. Granted, like
Hmm.
Margot Robbie is like really fly. Like I would have done that same thing, but still.
Yeah, but still.
But like I was there.
Yeah, you were there at the well, not
I
even the
was there
beginning.
when you were nothing. How could you do this to me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very hurt.
Apparently, you're still not over it.
I'm not, because this, you know what? I had kind of let it go, like
Mhm.
Elsa says to do, and then
Smart.
Walls came out, and it infuriated me.
Yeah, but yeah, Walls was. I listened to it,
We listened to it for
and
the show.
yeah, and it's just not good.
Fuck, like why is it so bad?
I don't know.
Taylor
That's
Swift.
too bad.
Taylor Swift, who just has to have her hands in everything.
Is she the
That
Yoko
bitch.
to the Ono?
Yes.
Uh oh. Hopefully, she's not as terrible as Yoko, though.
I mean, not far off. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's my first one. But yeah, now they're arena rock band, and you know what? The masses can fucking have them because I'm over it and I'm done.
Well, okay then.
But I reserve the right to bitch about them whenever I want to.
You mean on your own podcast?
Yes.
Exactly.
Aha. Anyway, continue.
Are you done?
Never. But go ahead.
Right. Of course. So my band that I have quote, broken up with would be Incubus.
Really?
Yes. This has been it's been a long time coming, and I've seen it, but I didn't want to.
I can genuinely say that I am shocked.
Shocked. Oh wow.
I'm really shocked.
But yeah. So Incubus came up in the time of post grunge upheaval in the rock world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so their earlier stuff I really really liked, and then when I was introduced to them was of course when everyone else starts listening to music when they're around 10 or so they can actually listen to their own music versus just what their parents listen to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's when I was introduced to them, and I went back through their earlier works of like Fungus Among Us, Enjoy Incubus,
I love that album.
Science, which I think is my favorite from them
It was a really good
because Science is just such a really good album. Make Yourself, really good stuff. Morning View, um, really good albums. Crow Left a Murder, Different.
You're cooler than I am. Morning View was my first Incubus album, and as it was like everyone's.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, and then Light Grenades is when I first started hearing what I didn't want to happen, but then it came to fruition, right? Um, which
Hurts, don't it?
it does, which kind of goes into my other band, which are contemporaries, I guess you'd call them. But yeah, Incubus just went off. They went off, and I don't like their music anymore. What was it last episode? I talked about their new album coming out.
Mm-hmm. How it sounded
Um,
very Incubus-y.
yes. So there's a little caveat here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have hopes for this new album, but I don't want to get my hopes up because then I'll be heartbroken
Disappointed.
twice. Yeah,
Oh, you're
I know.
preaching to the choir there, friend.
But yeah, so
Don't let them burn you.
but yeah, Light Grenades came out. I wasn't a huge fan, and they came out with If Not Now When,
Mm-hmm.
and that album just really went to where I didn't want them to go, which is basic kind of the same way that the Kings of Leon went. They just went the very sterile type of music, I
Very
guess.
palatable, like very just what everybody else wants to hear.
Yes,
You know?
which I thought Incubus would have been immune to that because, and every album sounds completely different from each other, but they all sound very Incubus.
Mm-hmm.
Which
They really do.
I don't know how to explain it, but every album is different from each other, but you can still hear the common threads kind of coming through, like the guitar and the drums, their style.
Different but the same.
Everything's different, but then they started going off and they're not stopping where they're going, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And then Trustfall um, came out, and that album is just total garbage. Um, it sounds
I don't even think I listened to that.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like what I guess what alternative rock is now. Um, it kind of goes along the lines of um, I guess kind of like Linkin Park. A lot of those, I guess, Foo Fighters, that kind of style, just like rock. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I guess they went to what alternative rock is now, and I'm not a huge fan of that at all. I don't think there's
Alternative rock
much.
isn't like really alternative rock anymore, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what the new alternative rock is this really weird nebula where it's not really much of anything, but it's a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of takes out what I really enjoyed about Incubus, which is their kind of weird, kind of funky take on rock with, they'll have like some electronic stuff in there. They'll have, that bass that just powers through every song basically.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of goofiness that they kind of viewed their music, which I really appreciated, and they're just not that anymore. And it really, really bums me out because I'm a really big Incubus fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I, I still to this day I don't have an album past Light Grenades. Because I've listened to all their new stuff, and I'm like, no, that's not worth getting illegally even. I mean, it's like that would just take up space on my iPod, and I don't feel like doing that. So Incubus is my band, my former lover that I no longer.
It's tough, isn't it?
It is. It hurts, especially instead just growing up with these bands and listening to them for
Are you
very
saying
formative years.
that love hurts, but sometimes it's a good hurt?
Oh, Nice.
Thanks.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, love does hurt sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. You bring up your next topic. I'm gonna get another beer. Be right back.
Okay, how dare you? All right, well, we're gonna let Parker go do that. So now that it's just you and me, he already knows about this. And again, I kind of teased it at the beginning. But my second artist
Okay, I'm back.
would have to. Hello. My second artist is the aforementioned John Mayer. Now, I fell in love with John Clayton Mayer, born in Fairfield, Connecticut. Let's see, in
Jeez, is this like a full obit or?
In, I believe, 2004. So I was in like junior high. Wasn't very old and was kind of branching out and listening to stuff that, again, like you said, it's like you get into the point where I feel like with you and me, when it's like, yeah, listening to the stuff that our parents like didn't listen to, like for a lot of people, that's like, I don't know, it's like not listening to Bon Jovi. But for me and you, it's like, well, our parents introduced us to like Led Zeppelin and like Rolling Stones and like,
Yeah.
in my case, like Grateful Dead and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, basically the stuff that we like really branched out on is like just stuff that's being played now.
Yeah, pretty much like
Stuff within the last
like
since
no,
like the year we were born on.
yeah, normal people stuff that like most
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, like so like music.
Yeah.
So but I started listening to John Mayer probably around 2003, 2004. My first album was Heavier Things. Which is actually a pretty good album. I actually really recommend it. It's some of his earlier stuff. He had one album before that, which was Room for Squares, which I actually don't really care for. I think that, you know, I think
Gasp.
it's okay, but I think Heavier Things is a much stronger album.
Okay.
I think that I think it has some gems on there too that people don't really like know about.
Like Daughters.
Oh, well, every girl in there.
That seems like John Mayer was kind of a staple by the time a girl hit high school.
Kind
right?
of like, that's the thing is it's like that was the other thing is I didn't really like to go too deep in on my love for John Mayer at that time because I was like, but like I'm not like, Molly, please stop. I'm not like, this sounds awful and I hate to say this, I'm not like one of those girls.
Say it.
But no, but you know what I mean. Like I wasn't listening to it because I was like, this song is totally about me. I genuinely enjoyed it. And a lot of people don't realize, especially at that time, did not realize that John Mayer is a fucking good guitar player.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you that.
Go for it.
How long did it take for people to kind of start realizing that he's actually a very, very good at his
Some
instrument?
people still don't know.
Oh, really?
Until they see him like randomly pop up on the Grammys or something and like play with someone.
And then he just fucking melts it.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, if people don't realize, like he was like
He slow hands
self-trained.
it?
He's self-taught. Yeah, exactly. But he's self-taught.
Oh.
He used to lock himself in his room and like listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix and teach himself. And the thing is, like, and he just wouldn't stop until it sounded like what he heard on the radio. And the thing is, like, I appreciated that because it was directly related to music that I was already listening to.
But say, yeah, that's the thread you need to.
Yeah, that was the bread and butter in our house. You know what I mean? Like, I knew who Stevie Ray Vaughan was probably from the time I was 4.
Yeah.
You know, not to make myself sound like an asshole. But just truly, like just having the parents that I have, and you know, especially with my dad, you know, I knew all of that stuff. I knew I could pick out a Stevie Ray Vaughan song very, very easily just based on the guitar alone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just the environment that you grow up in. And so I really enjoyed it. And I remember listening to some of his stuff and being like, oh, that sounds kind of like what I like. And he has a very like bluesy sound to a lot of his stuff, which of course just like drew me in. And then Continuum came out and it just changed everything. That album, I put that on my list of like top 3 albums. Like,
what did it change? The landscape of music, or
I
more
think
personal?
it did absolutely change his career. That album made his career. And that album really kind of opened people up to like seeing, it kind of like gave him permission to really play what he wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
it
he
gave
has
him,
the money to do it now.
oh yeah, exactly. Well, and it gave him permission to play the guitar the way he wanted to play his guitar. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, just so good. I remember I got to sit with that album for a while, for a really long time. And then um I got to go see him like perform it live.
Oh, you saw him live? Nice.
I've seen John Mayer live probably 4 or 5 times.
Nice.
Yeah, like that used to be the thing. Every year he would go on tour, I would go.
Mm-hmm.
I have turned more people over to John Mayer through like live performances, through just like inviting people to concerts
Yeah.
than like anybody, like any other band that I listen to. Because people will make fun of me. They're like, oh, John Mayer. Like, because they think they're like, he just like sings about like daddy issues to girls. Well, he has one song that
Yeah.
does that,
It's
but he
for
actually doesn't perform very much anymore.
yeah.
But I was like, no, like come watch him. Like you're gonna understand. And then they watch him like go into a 15-minute guitar solo on Gravity, and they're like, holy shit, this guy's gonna melt your face off.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. Like he is genuinely a very, very talented musician. And Continuum, I rode high on that album for 3 blissful years. We were so happy together. He understood me, I understood him. We just got each other. It was great. I loved it. I used that album against so many naysayers. He's just a genuinely really, really talented guy. And I was so excited when he was talking about coming out with something new. And again, Continuum was a huge album for him. It was what really gained him a ton of notoriety, is not just like that like singer-songwriter guy.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard of him.
Exactly.
I mean,
so he wasn't just like that guy that like all of like your mellow chick friends and like junior high listened to.
as they were reading Jane Austen books and
Shut up.
crying that
Okay, well right now you're
Timmy didn't love her or whatever.
okay. Go home. So leave me alone. So his next album after that was Battle Studies. And Battle Studies is actually a good album. I was a little disappointed because anything was going to be kind of a letdown after Continuum. I didn't like it as much as Continuum, but Battle Studies almost sounded a little bit more like heavier things. And I remember actually when it came out, like sitting with my roommate at the time and talking about it. And David, I remember, said the same thing. He was like, yeah, it's like a grown-up heavier things. And that is what it is. And it's a good album. I recommend it to anybody. Go ahead and give it a listen. It does have one of my favorite songs that he has ever done, which is called Edge of Desire, which I know you've listened to.
That's a really good song.
It's a great song. Beautifully written, beautifully done. It's such a good song.
And pulls at your heartstrings.
It really does. Like if you're in a bad place, don't listen to that song, or do listen to that song. If you're like, yeah, if you like me, if you just really want to like, you don't want an epidural because you want to feel everything. So,
and it's got a beautiful intro. It's just, it's
it
a
really
great song.
does. Yeah. It's just such a good song. But there was some like sleepers on that album. Where it's just like, whatever. With Continuum, I never felt that way. I loved everything on it. I can listen to that album start to finish a million times and never get tired of it. And I have. So, and then he waited a few years and I got really excited for his next album. Like, cause I was like, okay, well maybe he'll like really impress me after Battle Studies. And I remember hearing that he was going to put out this album and it was kind of like, oh, like it's going to be influenced by like the Laurel Canyon sound from like the 60s and da-da-da-da. And I was like, yes, I love that. Right in my folky heartstrings, John. Great idea. Oh my gosh, this is going to bring us closer than ever. No, it didn't. It did the opposite. I hated that album.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. It just kind of felt like he was just like, I got to do something. It's been 3 years. I got to do something. And God, I just hated it. Like, it just wasn't good. I didn't like it at all. I was so bored by it. Nothing stood out on it for me. I could barely get through it the first time. and it just made me so sad because this was the first time that he had ever really like let me down, and I didn't know what that felt like.
The cracks begin to show.
Yeah, it was bad. It made me so upset. And then I remember too, like right around the time that that album came out, he was like hospitalized. He had it wasn't a nodule. It was something else on his vocal cords. And it like delayed the release of the album. I remember that. Like the album didn't get released until later because of it. And he ended up having to cancel his tour.
Mm-hmm.
And so me being me and being
You-
too like invested in my artist that I love, I was like, well, good. Maybe he can sit and like
Emotionally invested.
yeah, like truly emotionally invested. I was like, well, good. This will give him some time and we can like think about our relationship and like really decide like where we're gonna go from here.
Right.
Right? Didn't like Born and Raised, slept on Born and Raised, but I just figured like whatever, it happens.
Right.
And then Paradise Valley came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so bored because he's trying to be Neil Young. And you know what? I already have a Neil Young. His name is Neil Young.
His name, yeah, and he does Neil Young.
And he does Neil
Pretty
Young
damn
like
well.
no one else will
Yeah.
ever do Neil Young.
Uh-huh.
I didn't need another one. However, Frank Ocean makes a delightful little cameo on that album,
Oh,
which is really nice. I really enjoyed that.
I know who that is.
Yeah, you do. And you
Woo.
know that he's not Jack Johnson's weird cousin. So
Nope.
congratulations.
He doesn't play ukulele on the beach.
He does not play ukulele on the beach. So yeah, so that happened. Paradise Valley kind of slept on it. That's the album too that like John Mayer has weird. God damn it, John. John Mayer gets these girls that he's usually sleeping with to do little, and he didn't start doing this until after Continuum, but he gets them to do like little duets with him.
Well, yeah.
And,
you gotta
and
bring
again, that's
your
kind of when
on-piece
the
to the
cracks
studio.
started to show. When I realized that he was like blatantly cheating and putting out these
and shoving it in your face, really.
Yeah, I had Taylor Swift on Battle Studies. I don't remember if he had anything on Born and Raised. And then Paradise Valley, Katy Perry was on it.
They dated.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So, and then it just, like, after Paradise Valley, I was just I'd been so burned. I just felt like, I just don't think that we can, I don't think we can repair this. I don't think we can repair this relationship, John. I think it's over. You know, and he tried really hard to get me back with Search for Everything. And I think he's pretty, like, broken up about it because he keeps, like, releasing more stuff from it. I think he's trying, like, really hard to get me back.
Wait, from the album?
For Search for Everything. Have you not heard about this?
No.
He's doing it in pieces. So he releases, like, 4 songs, I think, every month.
Huh.
Yeah, we get it.
So how many, since when did he start doing this?
A couple months ago.
Are any of the songs good?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I didn't even listen to the second wave.
What?
Because the first wave made me so stay tuned. I might listen to the second wave and be like, we're back. But I sincerely doubt that that's going to happen. I kind of feel like John has gone the way of a lot of these singer-songwriters and has kind of become this just like adult contemporary artist.
Are they going to be?
I feel like he's moving in the yeah, like I feel exactly. I feel like he's moving in the way of like Michael Bublé. Not that he'll ever make music that sounds exactly like that, but I think it kind of does sound that way in its own way.
Is he going to start doing a lot of Christmas specials every year?
No, he'll never do that. But like, I don't know, like he's moving in a direction that it almost feels kind of like Dave Matthews-y.
Oh no, he would do like a Halloween album.
That would be his last-ditch effort to try to win me back.
He's like, it's not a Christmas album because that's cliche.
Because Elaine hates Christmas. No, I don't hate Christmas,
right. But he'd be like a little different.
Well, he just got done touring with Grateful Dead.
Oh, geez.
I say just like it was like a year ago.
Oh no.
I knew you'd love that. Yeah, like he toured with like the Grateful Dead and everything. Like that's kind of his jam now. So, which again, like that's the thing. I'm not knocking him as a musician. He's a great musician. Like he is very, very good at what he does. But again, he feels like he's going a little Dave Matthews-y for me. And you're gonna hear him on like the adult contemporary station, and like that's it. And a lot of it's just so funny because like most of my friends that I was like let me drag you to this concert, and listen to this guy that like fell in love with him. And I was like, right, they're still really into it.
Ah,
And I can't, I'm so burned out on it now. It's like, I don't care anymore. He's living his life and I'm living mine. And I just, we're done.
right.
We've split and hasn't always been amicable, but
My goodness.
I wish him the best. So, and who knows? I won't lie. I've broken up with him, but I've left a little crack in the door.
Well, that's good.
And I keep hoping that maybe one day he'll stop disappointing me.
Right.
But,
One can hope, right?
one can hope. But yeah, so that's my long drawn out John Mayer story. You guys don't
Basically,
understand. Like,
this episode was basically created and allowed to happen so she could go on this rant. Like, just stripping everything away, dear listener, this was for her to rant about that one thing. She could care less about what I think about my bands. This was for her, which is good. It was I feel like we made some progress here. Made it look good.
I do. Not
Release
like
of emotion.
saying it out loud to somebody, not like over.
Does it make it real now? Does it make it real?
A little. Saying it like not to just like you like over a beer like at the bar does make it a little bit, now that it's like public record.
Right.
I feel like he's gonna hear this and like reach out.
He might. You never know.
He might.
He's like, man,
I would die.
She was like, I was listening and she made some great points, and I'm going back in the studio.
I got this. Don't you worry, girl.
And it's gonna be called Continuum Into My Heart.
No, I would shut that shit down so fast.
It says, or the name of the thing is, Elaine, are you continuing to listen to my music? Is what the album's gonna be called.
Please, Elaine.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, listen to Battle Studies if you haven't ever before. Oh, and listen to his little side project that he had going after Continuum, which again gave me so much hope. His John Mayer Trio album.
Yeah, or
it's
just listen
a live album, and it's great.
Or just go online and just listen to him play guitar, because he is one of the few really good guitarists of like our generation.
Yeah, you guys, holy crap! Like he genuinely is a really, really talented musician. Like the man knows what he's doing. Yeah. I follow him on Instagram, like specific. Well, partially for pictures of his dog because his dog is really cute, but mostly because like he will every now and then he'll just be like in the studio, like working around and playing and stuff, and he'll show off. He's like, I've been working on this riff. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's been stuck in my head and I can't stop playing it, and da-da-da-da, and I'll play it and it's like, God damn it, John, like, what are you doing to me? Which is why I got so excited when he was like, I'm going to do some new music, because he was working in the studio for so long and then nothing. Goodness. Love on the Weekend, that stupid song that came out. Don't insult me. Like, come on.
Oh, geez.
It really pissed me off. Literally, like, Love on the Weekend was like written for like divorced like moms in their 40s.
Divorcees.
Yeah, literally. Who are like writing about like their like long distance man they met on Match, like coming into town. No shade, by the way, if like that's your life. Like if you're living your best life, congratulations. Like,
hey, can we not say shade on this program?
No,
that would be great.
We're going to talk about Beyonce later, so get ready for all me saying shade a lot. So
okay.
Anyway, but that's
the episode, really. That's we got that out.
Oh, I'm sitting in my feelings a little bit right now. If you want to go ahead and
yeah, I'll take the torch, the feels torch. So my next band, and I think a lot of people our age can relate to this. Linkin Park. I was a very big fan of Linkin Park, as were most boys or people.
I knew lots of girls that were fans of Linkin Park. Don't be sexist.
Did you not listen to what I said?
No.
I said or people
who
were alive in the early 2000s. Yeah, like I was talking about earlier with Incubus, Linkin Park kind of drifted towards the arena rock stuff. Oddly enough, coming from the people who were talking about crawling in my skin are now like stadium rock band.
And releasing some stuff
Um,
that sounds kind of Backstreet Boys-ish.
very poppy,
Very
very
poppy.
poppy. And it's pretty funny. Also, I think last time we talked about this, they had a new album. It's called Heavy, which is pretty funny.
Because it's not heavy at all.
Yes, the pop singer Kyra. What is? I
Mm.
don't know her
Who,
name.
who are you talking to?
Uh, I don't know. Anyway,
Mm.
she's like a pop artist, and so they're bringing on. I don't know. Just from what they came from was just pure 90s, early 2000 angst, which, of course, I was, just head over heels for that, right? That's that was my jam.
That is your jam.
Um, with Hybrid Theory, really good.
Hybrid Theory
Reanimation,
was a good album.
which I really, really liked. They just took their album and just remixed it themselves, which is kind of weird, but it turned out really, really good.
Ooh, speaking of remixing albums, do you remember when like MTV released that thing with like them and Jay-Z?
Oh yeah,
That shit was fire.
it's
Like,
still really
I don't care.
yeah, it was really good. Yes,
Sorry, I just piss you off.
fire. Oh my
It
god,
was so good.
it's very good. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
Project
damn it.
Revolution. Yeah, they did stuff with Snoop Dogg and Cypress Hill because they, half of their, I guess, their vocals is rapping, and so that kind of bleeds into that rap rocky kind of stuff that they were flirting with their earlier music. Then Meteora came out, and everyone, I think, pretty much most people really like that album. I think, right?
Meteora? Yeah, most
Yeah, it
people like
was.
Meteora.
Yeah, it was pretty well received. And then you will remember this as well.
Well, I
The next album that came out was Minutes to Midnight, which came out when we were in or high school.
Did
And
Minutes to Midnight come out when we were in high school?
yes, I remember listening to one of their songs, one of those songs on Project Graduation.
Really?
Yes, it
I
was.
was there. Why don't I remember that?
I don't know. But yeah, so that was kind of the first um, inklings that they were going into a weird, well, not weird, but just a different um, kind of place. But I was still on board. Okay, whatever, mix it up. And then A Thousand Suns came out, and just not good. Really started turning to the more poppier stuff, alternative rock, whatever that is now. Um, yeah, right. Well, like I said, it's kind of that same. The Foo Fighters, Incubus, put a name of a rock band that had existed within the last 10 years, and then whatever they sound like now, I guess, is just alternative rock.
Pretty much.
So it's just like a weird amalgamation. Um, and then the Hunting Party came out, which I didn't even listen to at all because
I don't remember listening to it. I think I
no,
stopped after Meteora, to be 100% honest with you.
yeah, exactly. And I
I
think
kind
most
of
people did
aged
too.
out of that and I was done.
Yes, yeah. And then the last one, it's just garbage. So basically, now I just listen to their first three albums if I listen to them.
That's really all you need.
Yeah, which is so bad because they have a lot of more music
Well,
out,
for let's just
but it's
let's
just
just sit
it's.
though. For for a band that has so much music,
Mhm.
like that's it. You know,
Yeah, you just listen to their first couple, and then
that's all
that's
you
all
really need.
you need to know. Which is it's too bad because this is one of the bands that kind of got me into rock, that we know it as. Um, I don't know. It's just kind of weird growing, literally growing up with this band, um, and then just in 8 short years, I don't like them anymore. It's kind of weird, really weird
They'll
stuff.
do that to you though.
Yeah,
I
and
get
then
really annoyed, by the way, when I like read stuff about Meteora and I just see flashes of words like Mudvayne and
yes.
like Limp Biscuit on it. I'm like, ah,
Well, yeah, that was the thing. They were
I know.
with all those people,
Ugh.
but still not. Which
By the way, I think I read this somewhere. That has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I just saw the word Hoobastank on the screen.
Oh,
Did
Hoobas. I
you
always
know?
forget they're a band.
I do too. Do you know that I think it's like the bassist for Hoobastank is like a cocktail waiter now?
No.
Yeah.
How? But he had Hoobastank money,
And
right?
maybe he still has the Hoobastank money. I don't know. I just remember like the lead singer of that band. I was like, all right, like
That's hilarious.
I get it.
Hoobastank. Yeah,
Hoobastank.
they're a band. That's funny. So Linkin Park is my second, and I think a lot of probably people my age can relate to them. Just I don't even know who they are anymore. Like this isn't
I
the
don't think they know who they are anymore.
yeah. Get off my
Right?
lawn. It's not
Get
the music
off!
I'm used to.
Keep this crap off
Yeah.
my lawn.
It's different and I don't like it.
Pretty much. What was that? I don't remember what album it was, but I remember this came out like later on, and I was like amazed that I actually kind of enjoyed it. But what album was Bleed It Out on?
That was Meteora.
Was
Pretty
that
sure.
Meteora? Okay, well then never mind. It all makes sense then. No, it wasn't.
Bleed it out.
Are you sure? It was not. You're a liar.
Oh no, that was Minutes of Midnight. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
I
said. Yeah,
remember
Minutes of
randomly
Midnight.
came out, and I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I'm kind of okay with this."
Yeah,
But
that
then I remember
was
Shadow
the
of the Day came
first
out, and
one.
I hated
It's
that.
terrible. Yeah, what was
Oof.
the Oh, yeah. Just
He collaborated with Busta Rhymes on that album. Jesus.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I
Yikes.
don't even know who they are anymore. Really weird.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How do you
So
feel?
I've come to terms with it because like I said, it kind of started happening like, you know, 2010, so
It's true.
or whenever A Thousand Suns
You're
came
a
out.
little bit more que sera sera than I am too. Like you can kind of let things go.
Yeah.
I hold on to it forever.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we were all present for the unloading.
Sorry about that.
So on to some would call the main event.
Oh, you
Homework.
guys, you guys, you guys. I made Parker listen to Lemonade,
Yes.
and I want him to tell you about it.
Oh, you want me to go now?
I want you, I can't wait.
You can't wait.
I can't
Well,
wait, and I need you to start talking about it.
okay. So I was tasked to listening to
Don't say
Limonada.
task. No, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't say tasked. You were not
Okay.
tasked.
What's a better word for it?
You were blessed with the opportunity.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So my turn to talk. I was told, and my homework was to listen to Lemonade by the one and only
Beyonce Giselle Knowles
Beyonce.
Carter.
Yeah. And you told me that I should listen to it first and then watch the movie because it was like a movie and an album together.
Yeah, which most people recommend doing that opposite, but knowing you, because I did get a couple of questions about why I had you do it like that. Knowing you, I felt like you needed the music first
Mm-hmm.
without any of the extra stuff.
Right.
And then I felt like you could watch the movie and not be as like tainted.
Well,
I just know you too well.
I didn't listen to you.
Ah!
I was I think I mean, this is a safe space, right? I was a giant music snob, and I told myself, well, if the artist wanted me to do that, then they wouldn't have had them separate. You know,
The
she
movie come
put it
out
all as
first.
one at the same time. So
No, actually, she did the movie and then Lemonade came out that evening, but whatever.
exactly. So I was like, well, if she wanted me to listen to it like that, then I listened and watched at the same time. So I watched the movie with the music.
Great.
And I'm glad I did it like that, if I'm
Really?
being honest, because although that was, dripping with sarcasm, I honestly do believe that that's how that was a presentation that she was trying to give the world.
It was, and I understand that, but I didn't think you would understand that.
No, I mean, I think I can understand where the artist, if whatever they give out, that's what I'm going to consume, at least at first, because that's what they're giving me. And so that's what I did. I watched it, did the whole deal. Okay, so I got my notes here. Well, just first of all, I liked it. It was really really well done. I didn't really have complaints about what was done or how it was done. I think it was a nice, neat box that she worked on for a long time, and I appreciated it for what it was. It well, I would just start the opening. So the opening was really good. Good
Mhm.
intro, soft lead into what kind of the overall arching themes of
It's
the
kind
album
of
are.
like she's opening the curtain on a play. That's what I envisioned.
Sure, yeah,
That it
absolutely.
truly is what I envisioned when I first listened to it.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go with that. And I guess the huge point, which I told you this earlier, a couple days ago, she it's just about him cheating on her. Is what I got from the entire album. Was kind of the main overarching theme.
It's
And
like a continuous story.
yes, that she recalled themes, brought back stuff, tied it all up in a nice, neatish bow at the end,
Hmm.
and did the whole thing. Um, her vocals are amazing. The
Right?
instrumentation and the um, mixing is just so good. Really, really well done, polished. There was a point to everything. The visuals were crazy and awesome. They worked with the music, but didn't really have anything to do with the music, and I appreciated that a lot. A lot.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I I won't listen to it again because that's not my type of music, but
No.
I understand what she was trying to do, and I really, really appreciate her doing it. And she is absolutely the best in the business at what she does. And I'm glad that there is a person like her in the R&B rap pop world that is doing what she's doing, because I think it's really, really good for that arena of music to have her as a foundation. No pun intended.
I mean, formation.
Yes, same thing. Yeah, I liked it. It was good stuff.
What did you
Um,
think of the movie? I'm just curious.
uh, I liked it. Like I said, everything had a meaning and a point to it. Said it didn't really fit with the lyrics per se. Like, yeah, I guess it was very abstract. I think I don't know. Just my personal take on it. I thought it is you know I love the weird visuals.
Right?
Like, especially, well, I think my favorite was, oh, also she has probably some of the best hair ever.
Yeah,
And
girl.
there's like a billion hair style changes, and I appreciate that. That was pretty cool.
I
But
love that.
them in that house spinning around the red light,
Oh
with
yeah,
just
on
people
Six
sitting on the
Inch.
couch, and
6 Inch
just
is one of my least favorite songs on the album, but one of my favorite videos.
yeah, really, really good
Oh,
video.
good. Such a pretty video.
Hmm.
So well done.
Yes.
So what was your favorite track, do you think?
Um,
Which I know it's hard because it's not really your deal, but anything that like stuck out to you?
um, I thought "Don't Hurt Yourself" was really good.
Oh, that's so good.
Um,
I like the
and then
emotional build on that song.
yeah, and then "Sandcastles" I really liked.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, okay. It was, I don't know. I
That was
just
not at all what I was expecting, and I'm so glad that you said that. Isn't it so pretty though? Like, doesn't
it's a
it
really well done song.
break your heart? It's so good.
Yeah,
That makes me very, very happy.
and yeah, that kind of brings on another point. I really like that you could feel her emotion in the lyrics, and this
Mhm.
is another great example of a long line of examples of where I don't like it when my artist is happy.
Same.
Happy artists make
Well,
the worst music.
but you know what's funny is her last self-titled, the one that she released before this.
Hmm.
A lot of what that album was about was I love my husband. I have this beautiful baby. I am so happy with everything in my life right now. I love being a mother. I'm so in touch with my body. Like,
Hmm.
nothing makes me feel the way that my life makes me feel. Da 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 da. And that was a great album.
Right. I'm not saying it
But
can't
this
happen.
one was so much better.
Yes.
And no one knew how she was going to top it. And then she just fucking did it.
Yeah, it's a common theme, having problems in their lives, not just generally being unhappy, dealing with things, whether it be personal or exterior things, just make a better artist. Because that's half of the thing in music, right? Is cathartic, letting your emotions out, dealing with stuff, all that
Absolutely.
kind of stuff. Especially my realm of music knowledge, which is a lot of rock and heavier stuff. A lot of those dudes are just trying to get out, angsty stuff, and
Absolutely.
it just makes for a better musician.
It really does.
So as I was listening to this, I was like, man, she's fucking unhappy, and I was like,
Yeah, she was
great.
pissed,
I was
man.
like, this is no wonder she's doing so well. That that so yeah, so I found it's really good album. I'm sure I'm probably the last person to know that it's good, but
No.
really good stuff. Said top of the game of what she's doing, and I'm glad she's around. So there's not, you know, nobodies that are trying to make up what should be R&B and rap.
Me
And
too.
also I was surprised that she actually rapped on this album. Like
Oh,
not
yeah.
like actual rapping, not
Yeah.
much, but it was more than what I was expecting, which was none.
Dude,
Um,
but like, don't hurt yourself. Like, the whole, like, I'm the dragon breathing fire. God help me. I love her.
yeah,
Oh.
some really good lines,
Hmm.
and just I wasn't expecting any rap at all, and then when she did it, I was pleasantly surprised, and she nailed it, and she's awesome. So,
Did you catch the samples of When the Levee Breaks on Don't Hurt Yourself?
no, I didn't.
That's one of the reasons I love that song so much.
Really?
Hmm.
Hmm. I'll have to go back because I said I just
Yeah,
listened to it one
because
time.
Jimmy Page, Robert Plant,
Yeah,
John
apparently
Paul Jones, and John
everybody
Bonham
was.
has a credit on this album because of that.
Is that why? I was wondering why they had
Yeah, that's
credits on
why they
there.
have a credit on it. Because yeah, the
Yeah,
first time, because I remember listening to, it, I was like, why is there something so familiar about this? Because
that
fun
makes
fact, that's
sense.
my favorite Led Zeppelin song, or one of them.
And then Jack White makes an appearance, which
Hmm.
he's one of the greatest um, guys to throw on any album ever, along with
Well, and you know that they sampled Spodioti Dopalicious on All Night, thereby bringing in Andre 3000, thereby making it a
yes,
great album.
yep. Throw Andre 3000 on it, Jack White,
Like,
and John Mayer, and you're just gonna have a good
done.
album. That's
Done.
yeah, or Chance the Rapper,
Hmm.
you know,
Also,
throw one of them on there.
did you catch the reference for the Yeah Yeah Yeahs reference and the Soldier Boy reference on Hold Up?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I'm shocked. Yeah, the Soldier Boy thing, the I hop about my bed, turn my swag on, I look in the mirror, say what's up at the end.
Oh no, I didn't.
I love it. So good. And then the whole like they don't love you like I love you. That's a Yeah Yeah Yeahs reference.
Oh well, I'm not well versed in yeah yeah yeahs.
Really?
If it's not uh, Lion, Gold Lion,
Gold Lion.
that's
That
the
song that
only
you can never remember the name of? Yeah.
yes, that's the only song from them that I know. So that's
No, it's
my
actually not, but you don't know that.
oh. Anyway, so that is my yeah, it was good. It's Beyonce. What else can you say? She's just good at
Cool.
what she does.
I'm very glad
Yeah.
that you enjoyed it. That
And
makes me very happy.
yeah, and I probably will never listen to that album
That's
ever again in
okay.
my life.
I don't really expect you to, but I am very glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, which is probably more than what you can say because I can almost feel what you don't like about because I went back and I was listening to it and I was like, oh god, I already know what songs you're gonna comments you're gonna make. So okay, without further ado, your turn.
All right. So I was tasked with listening to Tool's Undertow, which I believe came out in 1993.
Yes,
Am I correct in
you are
saying that?
correct. Yes, it is their first real album.
Okay. I just first things first, overall, I actually really enjoyed this album.
What? Did you really?
I really did.
I figured out of all the albums, this would be the one you would
The
like the
least
most.
offensive.
Yes.
I actually really liked it.
Oh boy.
And it was funny because when I was like looking for it to actually sit down with it and like listen to it, because that's the thing is when I do this, I'll maybe be doing something else while I'm doing it, but I do try to be like very present for what I'm listening to because I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
And so I was very like I sat down with it and I was ready and I was like, okay, I can do this. And I'm looking for it, and I remember texting Parker. I was like, why can't I find this on iTunes?
It's
I
not
can't
there.
find it on Spotify either. And then I was
Nope.
literally texted like, oh, are they one of those bands? Like,
Yep.
oh,
Yes, they are.
and that I won't lie, that did not help.
No, like I said, it's everything surrounding Tool. Yeah, there's some stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Continue. This is
I was not excited. I was like, great,
okay.
cool,
So
awesome.
you sat down, you found it, and then what
and then
happened?
I listened. And I was shocked and appalled to find that I did not hate it at all. In fact, I actually really, really enjoyed it. I don't know why. Honestly, I really can't even really remember why I hate Tool so much. I think just because of
Probably
everything
because
I've
of
heard
fans.
I think, no, you know what? You're 100% right. That's
Yes.
exactly what it is. I have very rarely met a Tool fan, present company excluded, that I've gotten along with.
Yeah, same here.
And maybe that's because I think it's because my musical taste is pretty vast. And so I just can't see eye to eye with them on anything. Because a lot of people that are into Tool are like really only into Tool.
Yes.
Or Metallica, and I'm out.
Right.
You know, I'm 0 for 2 now. I can't hang. So so I'm listening to it and started off, and so Intolerance was okay. Like I listened to it and I was like, all right, like cool, whatever. And then Prison Sex is next. I really liked that song.
It's a good song.
I really enjoyed it. I like the guitar. It's just like that's the thing is it's like it's a little bit like harder than I guess what is on the radio now, obviously.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Well,
so I don't know why I
this is
thought I was gonna hate it so much.
Because I think what most people think when they think Tool is probably Lateralis and 10,000 Years or 10,000 Days, which is a vastly different than their first album, which is this one, and it has that, I guess, unpolished, gritty feel that we were talking about earlier with Kings of Leon, but it's just not rock; it's metal version of that.
And I like that.
And you like that kind of not quite polished off
that's
feel?
kind of the thing I don't like about metal.
Yes.
Is for something that's like as hard as it is, I'm like, oh God, it's so clean. Ugh.
Well, that's why some of that stuff I've introduced you to.
They can all play their instruments. Gross.
Right? Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, that's the stuff that I've kind of slowly introduced you to. Is I've kind of figured out that you don't like that Rush polished feel.
I hate Rush.
Yeah. So
fight me.
This stuff has more.
Send me your emails. I don't care.
This kind of that dirtier stuff, which I figured if you would like any Tool, this would probably be the most because, like I said, it's pretty unpolished feel to it.
I was down. I didn't mind it at all. So I liked Prison Sex. So Sober started, and I was like, hey, I know this song. Literally had that moment. And then I was like, this is Tool. And then I was like, I like this. Like it was a day of discovery. I was going through a lot of emotions and was shocked at my own feelings.
Yeah, because that would be the only song that anyone knows from this type of Tool. Is
exactly.
Sober.
And so, but literally I heard, I was like, I didn't know this was Tool. How much of a dumbass am I? I was like, I didn't know this was Tool.
Probably their most popular song.
Have never liked this song. But in the context of this album,
yeah, I was just about to say that it makes way more sense to listen to Sober within the context of the album.
Loved it.
Than it does just as a standalone.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy. Couldn't believe it. I really, really, really loved the intro for Crawl Away.
Oh
Fucking hated
yeah,
the outro. The outro can suck a dick.
yeah. That one's yeah.
There was a theme that I kind of noticed with some of the songs that I didn't really like. And this is something I think that happens in a lot of like metal that I don't care for. It's almost like they don't cut the songs off when they should.
Yes.
And they go into this like outro like, now we're gonna go really fast. It's like, all right, like I get it. It's cool. Like double time. I understand. It's cool.
And you
Like
know who that started with?
who?
Black Sabbath.
Mm. But I like Black Sabbath.
I do too.
I don't know. So let's see. 4 Degrees came on, and because I had to listen to it on YouTube,
Hmm.
I couldn't figure out. I was like, is this like what is this? Is this 4 Degree? What? Like I couldn't figure out what
Oh
the name
yeah,
of the song was.
yeah,
And that pissed me off a little bit.
yeah. That's a degree symbol. Yes.
Yes. Well, I saw that once I looked it up. But it really pissed me off. I was like, I get it, Tool. Like nobody gets you. I understand.
Hmm.
So, but I really, really liked the guitar in it. And then I was listening to it, and I swear to God, I thought he said Jet Black Pope, and I had to go back and re-listen to see if he did.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, Jet Black Pope? Like,
Huh?
is this an Andy Dwyer reference?
Not quite.
So no, it's not. And then again, made the note of why do these songs go on for so long? So even though that song's only 6 minutes.
Let's say yeah. The longest songs
I
like
just
not
they
even.
don't end when I feel like they
Oh,
should
when you want
end.
them to, right?
And so I'm like, all right, I get it.
Which actually, I think this album has the probably the shortest average
Hmm.
time for
This
a
may be
song
the
that they've
only
ever
Tool
done.
album I ever listened to.
Yeah, because the
So,
rest like they're have like 9 and 8 minute songs. So this is
mhm.
yeah.
Well, I've I listened. So technically the last song on the album is Flood. I found out
Yes.
after a little research that Disgustipated is apparently like kind of considered a bonus track.
Yeah.
Also, I found out through Google and stuff that apparently on a lot of pressings, it's track 69 and tracks like 11 through 68 or whatever are silent, which you
Yeah, well
can't see
that's
it.
this
You can't see it, but
that's
I'm making the jerk off motion and come on, guys. That's
that's why
stupid.
I told you that if you think it's ended, just go ahead and end it because
Yeah.
there's a minute of
Little
silence
side note, Parker told me to just skip it.
because they have every
And
second of silence is a track to get them up to 69 to make Disgustipated 69.
it's fucking stupid.
Yes.
Anyway, I
Yes.
did skip it. Parker just told me to not listen to it. And because I can take directions,
Right. I'm just trying to save you.
and because I can take direction, I
Yeah.
listened and I didn't listen to it. I'm sure I will at some point, but
There's
um
nothing.
but I'm kind of glad I didn't listen to it according to what you said because Flood ended it perfectly. That was my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, the whole album seems like it's going towards
It's like
Flood,
leading up to it. I loved it. I loved
which
that
I
song.
mean goes in with the album name, which is Undertow, Flood,
Flood.
like the whole deal. Yeah.
Right. So I really, really love that song. In fact, I love that song so much that I actually went back and listened to it again
What?
a couple of times.
Wow.
I know. I really liked it a lot. And so I can honestly say that I listened to my first Tool album all the way through. I really liked it.
And you didn't die.
I didn't die. Guys, I'm still here.
Your ears didn't bleed.
I am alive and well and here to tell the tale. So,
Well, the reason I wanted you to listen to this album
mhm,
is because this was a very pivotal time and kind of, in my opinion, I think this kind of solidified a lot of what rock was going through at this time, or I guess metal was going through at this time, because you
mhm,
were just kind of coming out of like the 80s glam rock, really. You know, Guns N' Roses was still a huge thing in 93. I mean, and that was even kind of a crossover, but this was a pretty big moment in um, tonal shift because said these guys were early Tool was hanging out with all the grunge people back in the day, and they just kind of moved down to Southern California to do their stuff. But they
right.
were contemporaries of all of those guys. So this is just kind of that side of people just trying to figure out what rock is, you know? So that's kind of why I wanted you to listen to it, just because it's a pretty big album in the metal slash progressive metal scene. So I mean, there was a reason to it.
I believe you. I absolutely believe you.
Yeah.
I appreciated that I took a little nosedive into what, granted, I like that I say modern and it's like 1993, but what like metal is, I guess. I guess progressive metal. Ugh,
Well, we
I
call
hate saying that word.
both of us consider modern rock to be basically after the grunge revolution happened.
That's
So
true fact. That is a very true fact.
kind of washed away the 80s glam.
Good point.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oops.
yes, whoopsie.
But yeah, but like I said, I will actually listen to this album again.
Wow.
I know.
I'm glad you liked it.
I am too. It was just really funny because it was kind of Teason Parker yesterday. I was like, well, I'm listening to everything and da da da, and I don't know. I don't know. I was like, I'm feeling a lot of feeling.
Yeah, I mean it's a if you're not used to this kind of music, it's a big album to take in.
But that's the thing is like I'm not, but at the same time, it's not that different than anything like Melvin's or
Right, which
any
yeah,
of like the stoner rock that
this
you've
was
had me listen to. So,
yeah. I said this is kind of a continuation of that stuff.
so I
Was
liked it. I
good.
really liked it.
Yeah,
I
it's a good album.
genuinely enjoyed it. Would recommend.
Awesome. Well, maybe
For
next
sure.
time I'll make you listen to their next album. Say you think about
I don't
in
know
a month.
about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next little segment, which would be our play or skip segment, which is just where we talk to you a little bit about what we're listening to and what we like, what we don't like. It's kind of the pick or pan on our show.
Oh yeah.
So, would you like to go first?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
My pick for this podcast is Muse. Their mini symphony, or I guess a full symphony called Exogenesis,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of a tail end of one of their albums. It's in a three-part, and it's a symphony. Basically, it's the lead singer described it as like an opera space rock kind of deal. It's really really good. If you even halfway appreciate stringed instruments and listening to what a piano and rock would be with that, I highly recommend Exogenesis. Parts 1, 2, and 3. Just listen to the whole deal. It's 13 minutes long total. By Muse. Just really well done. It's like I said, a lot of strings. He worked with
I like strings.
symphonies to get this stuff. It's really good. If you like Muse at all, then you probably already know it. And if you don't, just listen to more Muse in your life, as everyone should, and then listen to Exogenesis parts 1, 2, 3. Super good.
Hmm.
That's my pick, or my play. I'm sorry. Pick the play.
That was your play.
That's
For
my
sure.
play.
There you go. Good job. All right. I have a pick too. We're just going to be positive.
Oh,
Look at us. This never happens. We'll be very positive on the show.
we're not jaded.
We're not jaded at all.
Uh-uh.
That's not a very good song. So my pick is the March 4th marching band because my interests are vast.
March
So,
4th
it's
marching
called
band?
March 4th, which is all one word.
Uh-huh.
And they are technically considered a marching band, even though they don't really march.
Okay.
They are just a band that use instruments primarily used in a marching band.
Gotcha.
So, super good band. Lots of actual like real instruments in this band. Like
What?
horn. I know. They've got a horn section, like an actual horn section, an actual percussion section, and they use an electric bass and electric guitar and stuff. But like
nerds.
I know, but they use like real musicians playing real instruments, and it's crazy, and I love it. So I will give you two guesses as to where a band like this formed, because I feel like you're gonna know.
Oh boy.
It's pretty obvious.
Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Whoa.
Come on,
Okay,
you
we're gonna
can do
go
this.
with I guess Portland.
That's it.
There it is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's either Portland or Seattle, and I figured
Exactly.
it more Portland
Yeah,
vibe.
this is much more Portland.
If it's more woodwinds, is probably going to be
Woodwinds.
your Portland versus, yeah, your Seattle.
Yeah, so they were formed in Portland, Oregon. Actually, I was not aware of that until I looked them up, like after I heard them.
And you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it literally, well, because they have a song called Ninth Ward Calling, and I was like, oh, they're from Louisiana. That makes sense, because a lot of their music has a really, like, a very deep, like, jazz feel to it, and it sounds like that New Orleans jazz.
Yeah, is that, because I can't really hear it in my head. What genre are they?
Honestly, they have a lot of,
Going
like,
for?
rock influences and some ska influences, a lot of jazz.
You got brass. You got
A little bit of swing. Yeah. Kind of what you'd expect. But I highly recommend them. They're really good. They have a song, which I had heard them before, and me stumbling upon them all had to do with me and my Disney obsession looking for the song that plays at the end of Monsters University.
Of course, as everyone does.
And I will, like, when I get it in my head that I need to find a song, I will find it. I'm really good at Google, so I will find it. So,
Right.
So I found it, and they have a song called Gospel,
Mhm.
which is the one that was used in the Monsters University credits. It's really good. So I remember listening to that and was like, oh, I love this. And then just kind of kept going. They've got a lot of really, really good songs. They have a song called Deli Belly that I love. It has some like, like New Delhi.
Mhm.
In reference to the delightful little stomach bug that a lot of American tourists get when they eat street food in India.
Yay.
So I love it. So, but yeah, just like a really, really good band. Go check it out. If you're like into like listening to something a little bit different, it's just really good music. So, but I really, really like them. I enjoy like band music, but not the way like a lot of like former band nerds are like, I really like the band music. It brings me back to my marching days. Like, it's not like that. I just really like it. Like, I like people that can play instruments. So, but yeah, go check it out. I've been sitting with them a lot, and I'm really, really enjoying them.
Mhm.
So go give it a little listen. You might enjoy yourself. Faux show.
Sounds
Also,
good.
if you see pictures of them playing, like they look like exactly what you think they're gonna look like as like a marching band from Portland.
How many fedoras are in the band?
No fedoras, but some
Oh.
striped vests.
Okay.
They look very like, I don't know how this band is not from New Orleans, because the thing is, like, even their name March 4th, like they were founded, I guess, on Fat Tuesday.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
I
maybe
don't know.
maybe they're originally from there. Maybe they got
Somebody in the band must be. But
probably
like if you look at them like they do, they look very much like a band that's from Portland.
any
Like there's like
Argyle
a
vests
hula
going
hoop
on.
dancer and which you know about my feelings about hoop dancers.
And then the one girl in the band just doesn't wear shoes. Ever.
Actually, I think there is a girl that doesn't wear shoes.
Well, I mean, I just call them like I see them.
But like, and like, there's one guy who's like not wearing a t-shirt while he plays drums, and like somebody, of course, has on like a marching band hat. There's like a guy wearing a bowler hat. Like,
I'm sorry.
wearing, like,
I'm sorry.
Shorts.
Not fedora.
Not fedora. It's Portland. It's a bowler hat.
I'm sorry.
The dream of the 1890s is alive in Portland.
Right.
So, and it does. It looks very much like that. You know, a lot of girls and guys wearing some printed pants.
How many mustaches?
Oh, so many mustaches. Mustaches abound.
Oh.
Like, there's a lot. Interesting facial hair. Women who have like the sides of their head shaved that dance around with batons.
Really, really flowy.
No, not flowy. They look very. It's like if
less hippie, I guess.
It's like roller derby meets Mardi Gras.
I love it.
I do too. Actually, I'm super into it.
Yep, I got it in my brain now.
I love it. I love they're like really good, and I love it. And that's the thing is, it's like, of course they're a marching band, so of course they have like stilt walkers and like stuff like that like go around with them. But I appreciate that. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little showmanship, you know.
Absolutely.
That's the style.
Especially if your music can back it up. Then.
Exactly. So I don't mind it at all. It doesn't bother me. So, but just like this is a band that I would actually really enjoy going and seeing live. Like, they look like they probably put on a pretty good show.
I'm sure they do.
So that would be really fun. But yeah, that's my pick. Go check it out. Like, go listen to something a little different and broaden your horizons, because there's a lot of super good music out there, guys.
Yeah, if nothing else, no one else gets anything from this podcast, It's to go listen to a bunch of different music.
Hmm.
Don't listen to the people say, there's no good music anymore. No, it's just people don't know how
No,
to
there is. It's just
fucking
not
look for it.
popular. Yeah, because it doesn't sell because people don't like to think about their music.
Well, it's just there's good stuff. Just look it up, man. Like it's out there. Like I find new stuff
Man,
all the time, man.
man.
Yeah. Shut up.
For real though. Yeah, no. But seriously, there really is a ton of good. That's our lesson for the evening. Go listen to something a little bit different. I listened to a Tool album, guys.
Yeah.
You guys can go listen to a marching band.
And I have my new homework is going to be it's very different, and I think everyone should listen to it. Everyone should listen to both of the things that we assign each other.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show with our new album assignments. So
Yes.
I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. My assignment for you is to listen. Whoa.
I just get scared.
Is to listen to the band World's End Girlfriend. Is the name of the band. World's
I'm writing
End
this down.
Girlfriend.
Is this all one word?
No, World's space End
And
space Girlfriend.
Okay, I'm into it.
Their album, which is their newest one, which came out last year,
Uh-huh.
is called Last Waltz.
Okay. What kind of music is this
They,
for everyone at home? And
according to Wikipedia, which is good stuff, their
Wikipedia?
genres are ambient, classical, electronic, and post-rock.
Uh-oh.
And they are from Japan.
Portland. Oh, no. Oh,
Japan.
no. Is okay, I may know who this band is.
You
So
do?
no one ever.
Oh,
I don't know. Do
They're
I?
actually from Nagasaki, Japan, which is kind of cool. Way to
Like
bring it back.
Nagasaki, like The Office, like
Yes.
Nagasaki.
Yes, that Nagasaki, yes.
Okay, just checking.
But yeah, really, it's one guy, and he plays all the stuff, and yeah, really, really good stuff. Highly recommend it, especially if you're looking for something different and unobtrusive. Good stuff.
Well, okay. All right. So for my assignment for you, I need you to pick a number between 1 and 3.
2.
2. Okay. You are going to listen to the album Little Hell by City and Color.
Little Hell, City and
Color.
Color.
Color is spelled
the
Canadian
right way. The right way. Yes.
I'm sorry, the right way with a U.
Is COL.
O-U-R.
No U. O-R.
No, it's spelled C-O-L-O-U-R.
No, but that's the wrong
It's
way
not
to do it,
though, because Dallas Green is Canadian, and don't you forget it.
Sass Perkis. Anyway, okay, what are we working with here?
So it's, you know who City and Color is because
I do.
have listened to them because you know me. I love City and Color. It's one guy who plays a lot of different people, but Dallas Green.
There's a thread. Nice.
Dallas Green is the creator, I guess, of it, and he was in another band called Alex is on Fire. But really great voice, really, really great musician. Has a lot of really awesome work out there. But this is my favorite album. There's a song on that album that you are going to be extremely familiar with.
Okay.
And you'll know it when you hear it, obviously. But it's just a good album, and I think that you'll enjoy it because you've listened to some other stuff by him, and you've liked it. So
I haven't had a problem with City and Color.
Exactly. So I just think you should give it a shot because it's something that's a little different for you. It's not really in your wheelhouse normally.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So, but I think that you'll really like it.
Okay, what were the other 2 choices? Just pray tell.
I don't want to tell you because I'm going to use them for something else.
Oh, fair enough.
Haha.
You got me again.
So, I really couldn't decide though between this. This was this one, and there was another album, but the other one is pretty long. I figured this would be good. I might also change my mind and make you listen to Bring Me Your Love by City and Color. No, I want you to listen to Little Hell. Do that. And then if you like it, then you can just listen to Bring Me Your Love later.
Okay.
It's a great album too.
Can do.
Lots of good stuff by this lovely, lovely Canadian man.
Yeah, and their Disney Killer is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's it. That's my assignment. So I'm sorry. We had a bomb go off, apparently. Molly, calm down. Studio pet Molly the dog is losing her shit over here. Molly, calm down. Anyway, but that's our show for the evening. So
Yes, it is.
we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Mr. Parker, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at epicallygeeky.com.
That's pretty much it, guys.
And I have a Facebook too, so.
But he's not going to add you.
No.
He's not going to do it.
Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I actually posted something on Twitter last week. It was amazing.
Wow.
On Twitter and on Instagram at It's a Lanybird. You can also find me at epicallygeeky.com as well as on the Epically Geeky Show and the Marginally Geeky podcast, which you can also find Parker on too, but he forgot to say that. Go ahead, and if you haven't done so already, please go give us a rating on iTunes. And instead of leaving a review, because nobody really reads those, tell us about bands that you've broken up with, because I genuinely want to hear it. Yeah. Have you broken up with John Mayer? Share your story with me, and we will bond. So,
let's talk about music. That's what I want to talk about.
Let's just talk about music. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that, guys.
Or anything else that you guys want to talk about or want us to bring up on the show.
Want us to, yeah, for sure. Do that, because that would be really fun. I would genuinely like to hear what you guys have to say, since apparently some of you are actually out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for myself and for Mr. Parker, that's it for tonight, and we'll catch you later.
Goodbye.
I almost stopped the broadcast, and then I was like, wait, I can't do that. I have to record a show card. I'm so stupid.
So stupid.
I'm so stupid. All right, so show card. What all do we need to include? Hello, Molly. Other than Molly needs to cool her jets.
Yeah, Molly needs to chill the F out, man.
Her jimmies are all in the ethers. Parker.
Yeah, you need to. No tears, only dreams.
No tears,
only dreams.
This is I cannot cry. I'm a dog.
I'm gonna be right back.
No.
BRB. LOL. Oh, dude. We should we could do a thing where we could do a Spotify thing. Like people could follow us on our Spotify.
That's what I was I had this thought. And I was thinking about, like, I was doing something the other day, and this dawned on me. I think it was when I was bored at that con, talking to pasty people that can't.
Pasty people. They can't get their shit together.
Well, like, if I had one more girl in, like, an ill-fitting Harley Quinn costume come up to me and talk to me in that high-pitched accent.
Oh, did they try to do the accent, too?
Every
no.
One of them.
Oh, no.
The one girl was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, I tried. I literally just, like, went into it. I was like, I tried to do that for a guy. Didn't work. He said he wasn't really into it. He was just into the outfit. He just kind of looked at me. I was like, well,
Wait, who
I
said
wasn't doing much talking.
Wait, who said this? You
I
or-
said this to this other person.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I tried the voice. I can't do it.
I mean,
I said, but I didn't really need to be talking, so.
it didn't hurt.
Yeah, you're about the only person I'll do that for.
But yeah, I figure, especially you, I'm not on that near as much as you are, but
But I was thinking about that though, is like, why don't we do that a thing like where they can follow us on Spotify and we can put up playlists?
yeah, stuff that
What if we like
goes
do
with
an
the-
Epic Rhythm and Brews like Spotify account?
that I think that's a great idea
Okay, I think we may need to do that. I like that a lot.
because we could, add stuff that we're listening to. We could have like separate things of like show related stuff or like
Well, like for our
related stuff.
covers episode, we could have done a playlist of all the covers that we listed.
Yeah, and so people could go in and yeah, and then you could have like your kind of music stuff, my kind of music stuff, and then like a website stuff, so people could kind of come in and just see what is there.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
I'm really into that. Okay, good idea. You are so smart.
Sometimes.
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength with that. That's good news. Molly, do not close these. She tried to close my planner with her foot.
You do not need that.
Yeah, she's like, you are done.
It's Molly time.
Baby, she is a hotspot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Molly.
Where is it?
On her back leg.
Row.
Princess. Okay, I need to do the show card. So all of this is broadcasting on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the show card. We'll talk about the main topic. I'll mention Beyonce and the fact that I finally told my John Mayer story.
Yeah, it is the John Mayer episode.
It really is.
Right, I'm glad that you can get that off.
Feel free to jump in with that if you would like to, because that would be funny.
Yeah, I can do
So
that.
if you want to just be like, or it's just John Mayer, that's fine with me.
Right.
Molly, I can't stop looking at it. Now I'm worried. She's never had a hotspot. Anyway, okay, so and then talk about how we've got shocking revelations about our homework from the previous episode, and then we'll go into it. Okay. Alrighty, so let's do this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey guys, on this week's episode of Epic Rhythm and Brews, we